Well, good morning, brothers and sisters. Hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to give you a few reminders, but also an announcement regarding a Bible study being offered this summer. First, this Sunday, May 21st, we'll have our normal Lord's Day worship gathering. We'll be finishing up the letter of 3rd John. If you weren't here this past Sunday, we've covered verses 1 to 8. This Sunday, we plan to cover verses 9 to 15 to conclude the letter. Also, if you do plan on being with us this Sunday in the morning, we have a spring church-wide fellowship lunch offered right after the morning service. So basically, if you have nowhere else you have to be, that you're obligated to be at, we want to encourage you to stick around, stay with us at the church and hang out for at least an hour or two. We're going to have sandwiches and other sides, and the fellowship hall has been expanded. Both the women's Bible study room and the current fellowship hall has been expanded for this purpose. And so you'll actually see some pictures in this email that should be attached. You can see how it'll be set up. So basically, after the morning service, after we're done, people can be dismissed as normal. And if you're planning to stay, just go ahead and get in line, grab something to eat, and just hang out. Get to know someone better, fellowship, and talk about what you learned in the sermon, talk about what you're thinking about doing this summer, and just another opportunity for us to get together and break bread, as Acts 2:42 talks about how the early church devoted themselves to the fellowship and to the breaking of bread. Also, Sunday evening at 5 p.m., we have a regularly scheduled members meeting. And so if you are a member at CCBC, we encourage you to come, do your best to be there. You might say, well, is there anything kind of out of the ordinary or new or different? Well, in some ways, no. We're going to be, Lord willing, voting in a few more people to join our church, which is also always a great thing. We'll be walking through the financial report, miscellaneous announcements. You'll hear some reports from different diaconal ministries on children's ministry, reflecting back on the year. Also, just giving some encouragements and testimonies of ways God is using that ministry. Also, we're going to be talking about things like the architectural plans moving forward for our hopefully prospective church building one day. So the elders are going to be presenting a recent decision we've made to take that next step forward. So you'll hear more about that. Also, I'm going to be sharing a little bit in my pastor's comments at the end about student ministry at CCBC. And we define student ministry, or we will be, basically 7th to 12th grade. And so we're going to be sharing a little bit. I'll be sharing a little bit about how we're going to be starting this fall, beginning a series of teachings, discussions, and Q&A, and even some training for parents and those who would like to be lay leaders involved in the student ministry for that middle and high school age group. So one of the things that the elders will be doing, we've already had at least one discussion regarding a philosophy of ministry on student ministry at CCBC, but we're going to be doing that in a more intentional and concentrated way later this summer and early in the fall. And then on Wednesday nights, Lord willing, possibly, I would say maybe late August, but probably more so September after Labor Day, there's going to be a series of teachings, Q&A, and discussion for parents who have teenager kids, and also just parents who are just genuinely interested about the future of our church with regards to their children and grandchildren beyond the young kind of grade school age that we currently have. So that's something excited to be thinking about. And yeah, and there'll be miscellaneous things that we'll be sharing. So if you're able to come to those two gatherings, obviously Sunday morning, the luncheon, and the members meeting, I think you'll be blessed. Also wanted to present an opportunity for the men of CCBC to gather together this summer over 8 studies / breakfast, if you will, through June, basically June to August, with a few Wednesdays we're not going to have anything. This is totally separate from the Bible study that Jeff Hannon is leading, that he's been leading on Tuesday nights throughout the year. So that'll continue on in the summer if you're interested in joining that. But if you're a brother that's thinking through, we don't have anything on Wednesday nights for the summer, but I would really prefer having my evenings open. My kids will be home and that sort of thing. But I am looking for something to give me some structure and to connect with men that I normally don't get to see on Sundays as much or talk to as much. And we want to provide that opportunity. So this summer, we'll have 8 studies, 8 teachings, 8 gatherings, if you will, on Wednesday mornings. Doors will open at 6:30. and the teaching will begin at 6:45, and we'll conclude our time somewhere around that 7:45 time period. We're doing it early, obviously, for those who have to be at work by 8 o'clock or whenever. And again, if you can't make all eight, that's totally fine. You can jump in whenever you can. You can certainly invite a friend if they go to another church, they're a family member, or if you have a teenage son that would be interested in coming. We're going to be covering the specific topics of biblical masculinity. And so covering some of the basics, the foundations of it, but also at some other topics like in the home, in the church, lust, anger, work ethics, and finishing well. So if you're interested in coming to that, no need to really RSVP or anything, but certainly let me know if you are coming. So we do know kind of relatively how many people to prepare for, and yeah, so those are something to look forward to. Hope you all are doing well. I love each one of you.